A desperate bid to save a stranded fishing boat on Auckland's west coast.
Just trying to secure the tow line, and we had it all tied off. We got wasted by a big wave, lost it.
In Kai-moana, officers encounter an opinionated spectator.
Your own people, Maoris.
And sorry, my own people would be New Zealanders or
Maoris.
Maoris.
That's right.
Yes.
Nothing done about that.
And the Wellington Maritime Police are on a mission to save a drifting boat and its occupants.
It's now right in amongst the rocks and has broken down and is in danger of being smashed to pieces.
The rugged coastline west of Auckland City is a truly magnificent landscape. But the Manukau Heads have a reputation as one of the most unforgiving places in New Zealand for watercraft of all sizes. Today, the ketch Seneva has become stranded on a sandbar at Whatapu, north of the harbour entrance. As the boat owners battle the rising tide, Park Ranger Andy assists the rescue operation with kari-kari surf lifesavers.
I got the winch on the tug now.
Have they?
Yeah, the winch on the tug.
But no, it's too tight. It's going to snap. He just misjudged the channel and he went up on the bar and got washed up onto the sandbar. 3 nights he's been on the boat there, taking a pounding. At present, we're trying to get a rope out to the tug, which is a pretty difficult job, and the Kari-Kari Surf Club are doing a fantastic job. And then we're going to try and pull him off at high tide. Try and float it if we can. But it's pretty heavy. It's 30-odd tonne steel boat.
The treacherous sandbars are easy to misjudge as they move all the time, and stricken vessels are a hazard, so it's important to act quickly.
Our issues primarily are navigational safety, if she was to break up on the beach here and drift away, and concurrent with that is any risk to the environment. So yesterday we pretty much removed all of the fuel from his fuel tanks. It's a multifaceted operation, and it's been a plan that's been evolving over 2 or 3 days, so we are reasonably confident.
Remember, the vessel weighs as much as a very large earth mover, 30 tonnes, and it's wedged in sand, so it's a big ask even for a powerful tug like the Tika. But before the tow can even start, there's a challenge with the tow rope.
We may have lost the tow line, or certainly lost the buoy off the tow line, so yeah, temporary delay in progress. The good thing about string, if it snaps, you can tie it together again and try again shortly.
We were just trying to secure the tow line, and we had it all tied off. We got wasted by a big wave and lost it. So close. So we're going to try another tactic.
Well, I think the window is closing quickly, over.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
With the tide receding, Plan B will have to wait, leaving the skipper to battle through another night on board Seneva. His brother Simon won't sleep much either.
A very able seaman. He's been at sea all his life. No, he's handling it okay, although it is wearing him down a bit. Obviously, loss of income. There's the various costs that accrue to this sort of thing, and it's frustrating, having to try and work against the elements, which is what we're having at the present.
Basically, that's it for today, and this vessel will most likely remain high and dry for some time if it doesn't come off in the next 24 hours.
The next day, a huge team led by the Harbour Master's office have grouped together for a briefing on the day's plan to free the 30-tonne ketch from the sand. It's now day 4.
We're first of all going to try and tow her stern first. If she doesn't move, we're going to get Coastguard cutter on that line, and we're going to heel her over further to reduce the draft. If we try and turn around the way she is, this boat here is going to have to cross that tow line, and it ain't going to happen. We're just going to try and take her from the stern up that channel that she's dug as she came in. If that doesn't work, we're going to try and reduce the draft by this heeling method.
Simon reports that his brother, Seneva's skipper, is in good spirits and looking forward to his latest bid for freedom.
He had a night off the boat last night and had a shower and a hot meal and had a good sleep, so he's ready to go. Fingers crossed, everything crossed. The tide's a little bit higher today, and there's been some extra resource put in to try and achieve the purpose. So, we're pretty hopeful.
Wish us luck!
As the tow ropes are re-established, maritime staff scale the mast to attach a strop to slide the hull out of the sand if she can't be pulled out. Tug Tika stands offshore waiting for the call.
So she sort of dug herself a nice little bathtub in the sand that she's sitting in there. One of the key issues for us, of course, is that we've got to get this boat off this beach. This is a pretty pristine area around here. It's very well regarded in terms of wildlife and sanctuaries.
But there's yet another problem. Along with the bent rudder, the hydraulics for Suneva's windlass aren't working, meaning the anchor is holding her fast.
In theory, we can still get the boat, if we get her afloat, we can get her out into deep water, and their anchor cable will then be leading forward back onto the shallow ground. If that's a problem, he still can't pick the anchor up as he goes past it on his way out. He can just slip the cable. We can come and get it tomorrow or something.
Mick then reports another annoying issue, this time on board the salvage vessel itself.
Got a mechanical problem on the tug at the moment. The hydraulic hoses for the winch have just given way. So we're going to have to probably manually pull that last bit of tow rope on board before we can get it secured.
And you won't believe it, but now another potential problem has surfaced to further complicate the salvage.
Be aware that there's a crack on in the mast, just at the inner forestay there.
Okay. Yeah.
So we talked about, so that'll be a last resort. Yeah, I'd go to half power, Nick, and then stop at that for the moment.
She's actually resting on the bottom now. She's actually sat hull down.
Okay, that's good. I think she'd come out of the hole she was in, and Jim has given us the impression that she's just bouncing a little bit, just bouncing on the bottom a bit.
We've taken up 2/3 power on the tug, so all we're doing is basically holding a rope taut. And we're getting reports back from our guys on the vessel. They're feeling some movement. We're mindful of safety. We've got 4 people on board there who are potentially exposed to a tow rope snapping. So yeah, with that in mind, yep, in a nutshell, progress.
Confirmation from Sunnybar, we are moving asternal transits.
Roger, thanks Jim.
If we've got a good couple of knots, I would say, going past us here. It is surfing up a good bit of sand, but we're moving.
We're getting a good bounce there from the boat, so that's lifting her up off the bottom.
We're getting some big movements now. Each bounce we're moving back half a metre, so something like that, maybe a metre.
That's excellent. So what do you recommend, Jim? Just keep it going like this?
That's affirmative. Steady she goes as you are.
Roger.
Their hard work pays off, and finally the Suneva is stranded no more. The treacherous Manukau bar makes an exception.
Mick did a great job, and so did the rest of the team, so we're really happy about it.
Nobody got hurt, everybody's happy. We've now got, it's not over yet. We've got to get the vessel back to Onehunga. She'll need to come out of the water and have a thorough inspection, and then, we'll move forward from there.
Despite a bent rudder, a broken winch on the tug, unresponsive hydraulics and a cracked mast, the ketch is still floating. For the skipper, the Manukau bar has made a rare exception to its tough reputation. State Highway 1 on the Kaikoura coastline, one of New Zealand's longest stretches for drivers to stop and have easy access to Paua and shellfish. Today, the clear water visibility means great conditions for divers and gatherers.
Yeah, comms just advising 3M along South Coast Kaikoura.
Ministry of Fisheries Officers Mark and Chris are patrolling the coast.
Oh, just down here. Bringing the catch bag up, is he? Or?
Yeah, looks like he's got something in it. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good.
How'd you go today, anyway?
Pretty good, actually.
Good stuff.
Mark checks the size of the Paua on his gauge, and all the Paua meet the 125mm size limit.
What do you use for a measure, mate?
Knife.
Oh yeah, is it on the knife, is it?
I'll just cut the blades to the length. Close bit.
Yeah, you got a bit of give in that, so that's good. So what's for dinner?
Paua. We're going to have to take to the bakery for
Back on the road, the officers spot another family.
Who collected these Paua? Do you understand English at all, mate?
No English.
No English? What nationality? Korean? Filipino? China? China? Okay. How long you been in New Zealand?
2 years.
2 years? police.
Luckily, a pint-sized translator is on hand.
Could you ask him who was collecting the power today, or if it was just him, or if anybody else was collecting?
No, it's everybody else.
Everybody?
Yes. My mum's friend said when people can get 10 of this, is it?
Yep.
Is it we need to pay or...?
No. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure up these power. Chinese, yeah. I'm just going to measure up these power, so if you can just tell them that that's what I'm going to do.
As the family digest a Chinese translation of the fishing regulations, a passerby wades in with some thoughts of his own.
You don't stop your own people, do you? You know that very well.
I beg your pardon?
I've seen your programme on the TV.
Yes.
But your own people, Maoris are probably...
Sorry, my own people would be New Zealanders or...
Maoris.
Maoris.
That's right.
Yes.
Nothing done about that.
OK. Your image may be a little bit skewed there, sir.
No, excuse me. I've seen the programme.
OK.
Yeah. But you don't... They just walk away. I mean, you've got these poor people. This way.
OK.
I don't know what...
And you're very much entitled to have your say.
Yeah, that's right.
Be it maybe a little bit skewed as to what actually does happen.
Yeah.
If you had seen the work that we've done previous to this stop, we've stopped and checked every single person till we got to here. Now, that didn't matter what race, creed or colour. That's what we've just done. Unfortunately, we've stopped here, we've found some infringements so that we have to process that.
But most of the cases we see, we don't see properly then. You only see these people.
Well, we appreciate your comments, and I can see where you're coming from. But, yeah, at the end of the day, what we do is we assess every case by its credit, but today we've stopped and talked to every single person on our journey.
When's this programme going to be on?
Oh, I'm not too sure, I couldn't tell you.
OK.
Sometime in the year.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So that's the line for 125, which is legal size for power, and this is just under. That's undersized. So we've got 11 power, 4 of which are undersized.
The family also has a large collection of cat's eyes.
So we'll just assign 50 each, so you can all take away 50 each. Okay. But not only that, but I have to talk to this gentleman here who's holding the screwdriver. The thing is you can keep the 7, but I'm going to have to talk to him about the 4 undersized, and we'll see how we go with the boo-boos here. But if there's any excess of those, we need to talk to the whole group as a whole.
Mark and Chris painstakingly count out 350 shellfish, 50 each for this party of 7.
Underneath all those, we've just found a yellowfoot and another blackfoot power. And just looking at them now, they look to be undersized, but I'll just double check that. So yeah, the yellowfoot's undersized. And so is the blackfoot.
This hidden booty puts their total to 6 undersized power.
Can you tell me who collected the boo-boos and the power that were put into the small white bucket? What? Who collected the shellfish and put them into this bucket?
Is it this?
Yes.
First time we just get that from here, but we don't know it's this shower, so we just put in the buckets. Now we know it's not. But my dad wants to put it on the sea, but I think he just misses this.
Does anybody else in the group speak English?
No.
OK. We'll quickly count these out, put them on the back of the truck and count them through. And then see if there's any other shellfish in this puppy. 43, 44, 45, 145 excess.
Yeah.
Fisheries Act is strict liability. I don't know if you can explain that to your parents, but ignorance is not an excuse. I know if you can explain that to your parents, it's like driving along the road and driving too fast but not knowing the speed limit. If you get pulled over by a traffic officer, they will still need to talk to you about speeding, even if you didn't know what the speed was. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I feel sorry for this little girl. I have to explain it to her parents. I need a translator, mate. Chris, we've got a whole lot in here as well, matey. So we've got another bag of power. Were they going to let us know that they had more seafood in this boot, or just hope that we were going to let you drive away? 100.
With the shellfish finally counted, Mark explains the ramifications of this family outing.
Worst case scenario, it may go to court. okay? Otherwise, it may be a fine. But that isn't our decision to make right now. That's for our boss to make.
But my mum said, wait, like, we just come here, it's very happy, but now it's not very, like...
No. Unfortunately, you need to know the rules, and it's best to find out the rules before coming here to do this, and then you'd be fine, and it'll still be a happy day.
For the undersized Paua, there is an instant fine.
Will be $250, okay? And I'm going to give that to him now.
250.
Yeah. But
But
thank you for being cooperative. I appreciate it, and thank you for your help. You've been a champion. Thank you very much.
The family was also issued a $1,500 fine for the excess cat's eyes.
They were trying to explain to us that this is the first time that they've been here, and that they didn't know the rules and regulations. Unfortunately, with the Fisheries Act, it's a strict liability, so that the onus is on them to obviously go away and find out the rules and regulations prior to jumping in the water and collecting seafood.
While it's a clear day in Wellington Harbour, on the west coast, gale force winds have set in, and that's exactly where the Maritime Police are heading.
Heading to Ahoro Bay, which is on the South Wellington coast, so a boat that's broken down.
There's been a report of an empty boat heading straight for the rocks.
We've just been informed of a vessel that has come into the rocks near Red Rocks.
Because he's in about the third bay around past Crusher Bay, almost right in the middle of the bay. We'll launch if you can just take care of putting the light bar away and all that sort of thing.
To access this craggy spot of the coastline, it's faster for the rescue team to drive by land towing the rib than to travel by boat from the marine base.
What's happened is one of our land units has observed about a 14-foot boat, which he observed very close to the rocks at a place called Red Rocks on the South Wellington coast. There was no one with the boat, and he suspected that it had broken down. They've since discovered that 2 scuba divers had dived from the boat and left it unattended, and it had drifted a wee way. It's now right in amongst the rocks and has broken down and is in danger of being smashed to pieces if it's not off the rocks fairly soon.
While the rescue team know the location of the boat, they're unsure of the whereabouts of its 2 divers who are stranded somewhere nearby.
We'll shoot round to Red Rocks and try and offer some shore support for the guys in the inflatable, and see if we can't help out somehow.
Meanwhile, a local passerby fills Craig in on what he knows about the abandoned boat and the 2 missing divers.
2 of them went down diving, and it's offshore wind as well, and leave the boat on the top. They're just lucky it's low tide as well.
In order to get as close as possible to the unoccupied boat dangerously drifting into the rocks, Craig drives to the next bay. He's also hoping to locate the stranded divers.
The wind has actually accelerated. Appears to be an inshore breeze close in, but of course it's not further out, which could make it a bit more difficult.
But around the corner in the next bay, it's a very different situation, and the conditions are much riskier.
Along this part of the coastline is generally referred to as the wind factory, so and you can see out there why that makes it more difficult, of course, for running an operation here. And close, the wind appears to be travelling in a different direction.
Craig can see that the rescue crew have successfully salvaged the abandoned boat off the jagged rocks, and they have one of the divers on board, but there is no sign of his partner.
It looks like they've successfully pulled them away from the rocks and now attempting a tow back to the launching ramp.
But just before Craig launches into a search for the second diver, he comes clambering over the rocks to safety.
You aware of the forecast today?
Yeah, it was 30 knots, and got it here and it's okay, but just all of a sudden it picked up. Well, when we popped up, couldn't see the boat and it was a bit more choppy than we jumped in the water.
While the divers were gathering crayfish on the seabed, the anchor on their boat broke, leaving the vessel adrift.
We lost each other, so we came up to check where we were, and we popped up and it was a bit rougher, and then we looked around for the boat and the boat was gone. So as we came up and down the waves, we saw the boat on the rock, so we quickly swam back to shore and just made our way back to the boat and tried to empty her out and basically save her.
Despite their ordeal, the divers don't seem to be aware of the danger they placed both themselves and their rescue team in.
In reality, they've really just put themselves at risk, and maybe our guys were having to go and help them out.
To accurately assess just how bad the boat is, they need to get it back to the ramp for a closer look, although for now they remain cheerful.
Here's the boat. Yeah, it's back in one piece, so pretty happy. A few bit of damage, but she'll be right.
The guys very grateful for being able to recover their boat, and certainly the wind conditions out there were pretty unfriendly, so I think, yeah, very good outcome in the end.
Thank God for the police. If they didn't come, that boat would have been in bits by now on the bottom.
Luckily, apart from the crayfish they caught, no lives were lost.
This is what we were after, and this is what we almost lost the boat for. Considering that we both don't actually eat these at all, and we actually give them to family and friends, it could be quite costly in the end.